everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to Wowza Wednesday for May. So this is the card we're going to make today. It was another card that was requested by a lady in my Facebook group. It's called a Hexagon Pop Up Card, but I've changed a few of the dimensions and I've added things from different people. Like I put this spring in the bottom here, so you can see that spring in the bottom that I saw from Sam Cowcott. So I decided that I liked it with the spring as well as, and you could do it without the spring. So on my written tutorial it will have that as an optional extra. So it's up to you whether you put it in or not. It just that when it lays flat in the envelope it's a little bit bulky, but when you take it out it actually pops into the right hexagon shape. So this one I did with a die that I had in my stash called just a hexagon die, which was that, but this time I'm going to do it with the deckled circles, which I didn't bring the deckled circles over, did I? No. Let me get them because I need them to show you what size. Crazy me, just lately I keep forgetting to bring something over to where I record. Okay, so I'm doing it with, as I say, the deckled circles, and I've got those two out, so I'll tell you which size they are. Well, you can do it with any shape, as long as once it's laying flat and you've laid it down flat like this. This measures 6 inches, and this doesn't go above the 6-inch mark. See, this one is only 5.5 inches high, so it could go higher if you wanted to. So I've actually done mine a little bit bigger for the next one. So let's pop that out of the way and I'll show you what I'm going to be using. Now pop that over there. So I'm going to be using Create with Friends. I'm not sure whether this one is still available or not, so but I just liked it, and I'm putting Friends Forever on the front, the same as I did on this one, and Celebrate on the back, the same as I did on that one. See, I put a writing panel on the back of mine too, which is something I hadn't seen on anybody else's, so I just wanted a writing panel. I like the idea of having somewhere nice and big to write, so that's why I've put the writing panel on the back. But this set here, Impressions of Bloom, is actually new, and it's came out on the 6th of May, and I love it. I've used it a couple of times already in different projects, so we're going to be using that. I'm only going to be making this, I've already stamped them and everything, but I'm going to do a couple more of the small flower, and I actually cut them out because they actually come with dies. Whoops! So they come with these lovely frame dies, or that goes on there. Go over there, you. And that one goes in there. It's a bit not square at the moment. It's not flat, so they're not laying flat at the present time, but I will get them in there properly. So it comes with all them. We're going to stamp a few more of these, so I've got the stuff here to do that with. So that comes with them, and you can always buy as a stamp set, or with the dies as a bundle, or as a, I'm not sure if it's a suite, but it comes with these lovely papers that match it as well, which are called Floral Impressions, and they are gorgeous. We are using this one here today. So it comes with that one, and it's nice and green on the back, which is something I like, as you know. This one here is lovely. I'll pull that up so you can see. It's got all the different colours that are in it there. So you've got 2 of each, and that's got a nice yellow, and that's called Darling Duckling. Then we've got another one with lovely wildflowers on it there, and this beautiful fresh freesia on the back. A nice ferny one, which could be used for both male and female, and that's got, I don't know what that colour is. That colour is, it actually doesn't say what that colour is. Pool Party, there we go, Pool Party. And then we've got this one, which has got lovely big daisies on it, and a nice green on the back. And then another one with lots of flowers on it. I know I'm upside down, I'm sorry. It's just easier for me to turn it that way. And a nice, like a fleur-de-lis sort of thing on the back in strawberry slush. And the one that we're going to be using today with that nice green on the back there. So, let's pop that out of the way too. Let's move these up here. And I will tell you now which size that I'm using of these. So, I'm using my deckled circles. I'm not sure if these are still available or whether they have finished up as well. I haven't checked, I must admit. So, if we start from the outside, we've got 1, 2, 3, let me get that in the right place, 4. And then you want the 5th and the 6th size, which if you're using normal circles, you would need a circle that measures 4.5 circle, a 4.5 inch circle. And then for my other one, we would need one that measures 4 inches or 4.25 inches, 4 to 4.25 inches. I think 4 inches is much better size. So let's pop them in there because I've already cut them out. So let's pop them out of the way and I'll tell you what you need. Now it doesn't look like a real lot, so you know I've done all my flowers here. So I'll pop all them out on the one side. And I've also done half of the spring, so, but I will tell you what we need. So, okay, let's start at the beginning. Alright, you'll need 2 pieces of card that measure 2 inches by 6.5 inches. Then you'll need the cradle piece that goes over the top, which is the piece that goes inside here and up and around in there. That measures 2 inches by 10 inches. And then for your spring, you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 1.5 by 9.5 inches. I've already done one, so we can do the other one together. Okay, then we need our circles, so you're going to need a piece of card that measures, what did I say, that was a 4.5 by 4.5, so 4 3/4 to cut that out of, and then the 4 1/4, so you'll need a 4.5 piece to get your DSP piece out of. And then another one the same size as the DSP for your white writing panel on the back. You're also going to need 6 pieces, which I've already put some together, that measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and they all go on around the base of our card here. And then the DSP that goes on the top, which is 1.5 by 1.5, and you'll need 6 of each of those. Then I've got my writing panel. This is a die I had in my stash. I just really like the shape of this die. So this one measures, let's see, 2 3/4 by 2 inches. And then the white piece to go on the top of it measures 2 1/2 by 1 3/4. So they will go together like so. I just like them. They are out of my stash, so they're not Stampin' Up products. So let's pop all these things out of the way and let's bring in our scoreboard. And we'll do our bit of scoring. Okay, so I'm not going to score the spring piece. I'm only going to score the card pieces. We'll do the spring piece afterwards. Okay, so on our 10 inch by 2 inches, which is the cradle piece, this will be scored at, using the small ball, 2 inches, 5 inches, and 8 inches. And then on our 2 other pieces of card, these are the pieces that measure 6.5 by 2 inches. Now I've already scored them both, so but we go through it. 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. And you're going to do that on both of them. 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. Okay, so let's pop the scoreboard out of the way. And what we're going to do next is we're just going to get on this tiny end here, this little tab, and we're just going to notch that off a tiny bit, just a tiny bit, so that when we stick them together they don't pop out the sides. I think I need a new pair of scissors by the looks of things. I said that last time. Okay, so let's pop those in the bin. Let's bring that down. That's it. Are we in the picture? Yes. Oh, there we go. Okay, so then we're going to fold and burnish these. So we're going to fold this one in the middle. This is the 10-inch one. We're going to fold that at the 5-inch mark, and then we're going to, which is a mountain fold, and then we're going to mountain fold the other two, making sure that they're all nice and square. Because we want them nice and square, like so. So we can pop that one on one side for a minute, and then we're going to bring in this other two pieces, and we're going to fold these the same. We're going to mountain fold, and mountain fold, making sure once again that they're all nice and square. Mountain fold, making sure that's nice and square, and mountain fold, and once again making sure that one's square too. So then we're going to glue these two pieces together at this tab, only one of the tabs at this stage. I should have checked my glue, I normally do, but I didn't do that today. It's cooler. It's a cool day compared to what we've had. It's a nice cool day. There. So we're going to pop those two together like so at that join. Whoops. Making sure that they don't stick out, so I've turned them over so you can actually see that that is still flat. And we're going to rub that one down. What we're then going to do is we're going to bring in our 6 pieces of card that measure 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and our 6 pieces of DSP that measure 1 1/2 by 1 1/2, and we're going to glue those together. And then we're going to glue each one of these onto our sections along here. So if you've got a directional paper, I don't think mine's directional, but I will try and keep my flowers up the same way. Yep, I don't think any of mine is directional, so we're going to glue those all across there like so. So just remember, if you have a directional paper, that you just want to make sure that you get things that's square. Once you've cut it, you just got to make sure that they are in the correct orientation. If you're using a different shape for your pieces here, this piece, just make sure that this piece of DSP is actually in the right direction when you're ready to put it onto your piece. If you've got a circle, that's easy to do. Okay, so we've got all those stuck on, and now we're going to bring that around and we're going to glue those two pieces together. So we're going to pop some more glue onto this tab here. Lay that down flat, bring the other one over, and it will fit over there beautifully, making sure that it's lined up nicely along the sides. We're going to give that a good squish down, and I'm going to squish it down on the inside too, like so. So that is our base of our card. So if you've got a pattern here, like we know that that's a join and that's a join because you can see where the joins are on the inside. So looking at the front and the back, decide which one you want as the front, but I mean we can do that in a moment. And we're going to then glue this piece into here. So this will fit in here nicely. It will line up at the bottom, and that joint, that score line will line up nicely along this top. So we're going to pop some glue onto this 2-inch piece here. And making sure that you've got your sides on the sides, like there and there. I'll pop this in, and I do it while it's sitting flat on the table. That way I know that it's flat along that edge. And you can see that it's flat this way because you can always push it by pushing that into so that it's square at this particular time, to make sure that's nice and even in there like so. Once you've done that one, you're going to turn it around and you're going to do the other side exactly the same. So we're going to pop glue on the other side tab, the other 2-inch tab, and we're going to pop that in the same as we did before, laying it down flat against the bottom of the table, and then you can bring that around like that to make sure that it's nice and flat along the sides and not hanging over at all. And once you're happy with that, you can squish that down nice and tight, and then bring that in, and I can see that that's not quite in the right place. So I'm actually going to pull that up. I'm going to pull that up because I'm not happy with where it's stuck. I'm going to pop some more glue on there. Not 100% happy with where that's stuck. It didn't sort of go right down where I wanted it to. Well, there we go again. Try it again. Bring it in. Making sure that it's nice at the top and at the bottom. That's better. Shows I'm just as capable as everybody else of making a blue. We all do them. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel silly. It's all part of being a card maker. Alright, so once that's in there nice and tightly now, we have our main card looking like this. Looks like a cradle. I call that a cradle over the top, like so. So we're going to pop that piece out of the way for a minute, and we're going to bring in our card front, which is this one here, and our DSP piece, and we're going to glue those two pieces together. Making sure you get a nice even border around the edges. Okay, once we've done that, we're going to bring this one back in, and we're going to pop this onto the front. And as you can see, we just need to make sure that it's not going to be above that 6-inch mark, which is here. So I can come up a fair way. I can come up a fair way. So let's pop some glue onto this piece here, right the way over. And we're happy with that. We can pop it down close on the table. And if you've got a direction again, just be careful. This time, when you put it together, just check that it doesn't go above your 6-inch mark here, because it's going to go into a 6-inch envelope, and that it's even on both sides. If it's not quite even, pull it over like a little bit. There we go. And we've got that one onto the front of our card like so. And that's sitting up really pretty now. Look at that. Looks really nice. Okay, so we're going to pop that out of the way again. And we're going to bring in our back piece that we're going to do of our writing panel. And we're going to do our little bit of stamping. So I'm going to stamp my main words, celebrate in Petunia Pop. going to stamp that right in the middle there, like so. And then I'm going to do some petunia pop flowers. I'm not going to use the the Misty Moonlight. So I need a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to actually stamp this. I'm going to stamp just 2 flowers, I think. Don't want to go over the edge, like so. And that looks a bit, it's supposed to look a bit funny. So we're going to pop that one on. We're going to pop it off once, and then we're going to actually line that up and stamp it over the top once again. So we're doing second stage stamping, as I call it. I don't know what other people call it. Okay, so we're going to then pop that one out of the way. Alright, and we're going to, oh, I'll need that one again, so I'll just pop that over there. And then we're going to bring in our crushed curry, and we're going to do the same again. This time we're going to do our solid one, and we're going to stamp that off once first and pop it down. So we've got a nice yellow blob in the middle of them. Then I can move that out of the way because we don't need that. And then this one we're going to stamp over the top full strength, like so. So that goes on the back of our card. So let's move that out of the way. And we're going to bring in our card again, and we're going to pop this one onto the back. Now we want to make sure that it doesn't sit up funny, so when we pop it on we need to just open it up and see that we couldn't have that up as high as that because it will go strange in that top corner. So we need to bring it down a little bit so that it only just fits on there, just a tiny bit off. So we're not going to put, I can't know if you can see that in the shot very easily, there's a little piece of the corner here and a little piece of the corner there of the back, so we're not going to put glue on those pieces. So we're just going to put a little bit in the middle and then come down like so. And that's because we don't want to make this so that it's hard to write on. So once you're happy with that, we can just pop that into the back of the card like so, making sure it's nice and square. That's better. We need to be square. We don't want to write on the screw with. And as you can see, we now have our writing panel on the back. You do see a little bit of the thing at the top there, but it's not like ridiculous. So you've got plenty of spaces to write on the back. So that's our main card really. Okay, let me put my pin in my glue. And I'm going to show you how to make this spring. Now this is optional extra in my tutorial, but I actually thought it was really good, and I love the way Sam did this, so I'm going to show you how this is done. So you're going to need 2 pieces of card that measure 1.5 by 9.5 inches long, and we're going to bring in our scoreboard again, and we're going to score this at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4 inches, 2 inches, 2 3/4 inches, 3 1/2 inches, 5 inches, 5 3/4 inches, 6 1/2, 7 and 8 inches. Now you're going to do that on both pieces. Pop my thing down there now. And then with what we're going to do, as I've already done one, as you can see, I'm all screw whiff again. We're going to bring this in, and starting at the end where we've got a square, right, we've got a little tab at this end and a big one at this end. We're going to start at this end, and we're going to fold this as a mountain fold, a valley fold, a mountain fold, a valley fold, a mountain fold, till we come to the middle one, which is the same size as this one here. Then we're going to open it up, and we're going to start from that middle one, and we're going to go mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, so that when that comes across like that, those two match up. Now we don't want to burnish these, because if we burnish them, we're not going to get that spring in them. We're not going to get a spring in our step. So we can bring those two together, and we're going to pop some glue onto this piece here. Now I'd like to thank Sam Cowcott for this idea. I love it, and I'm proud to say I use it. Okay, once we've glued that together, where that join is and where the join is on the other one, we're going to glue those two together like so. I'm going to actually turn one over so that my tab joins are on opposite sides to each other, but it really doesn't matter. And we're going to join them together, making sure they're both laying the same way, so that we got, you know, we don't want one going this way and one going that way. Once we're happy with that, we're going to squish that together like so. And this is where it comes a tiny little bit fiddly. So we're going to actually press this together like this, and very carefully holding it top and bottom, because you can't hold it on the sides because you'll never get it in there. I don't think so anyway. Maybe we do hold it on the sides. Let's hold it on the sides and see if I can get it in there. But yeah, I think holding it on the side is probably a much better idea. I'm going to pop some glue onto that flat square one, and then I'm going to turn it around, holding it together as much as I can, and then I'm going to pop some glue on this square one here. Now, this is the fiddliest part of this card, so it's up to you whether or not you want to do it. So I'm going to lay that card down, and I'm going to pop this in so that it's not sitting on top of the cradle, but flat with the bottom of the card, but in the middle of that section. Then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to prop that down, and I'm going to squash that one up. There, so it is, so that it's sitting on the back in the same spot. So it really wasn't too hard to put in there. Once we're happy with that, you can bring it out. You can see how it sits flat on the bottom, the same as the rest of the cards, so it helps it to pop out like so. And I think it just makes, when you take it out of the envelope, it pops just that little bit more. So let's pop the card over there. Pop. We're using that word quite a fair bit, aren't we? So I've got my flowers cut out. I've got some leaves cut out from this set here, and this flower here. So I did some in pink in the Petunia Pop, and I've done some in Misty Moonlight. So we're going to have a look and see which ones we want, and I'm going to stamp this one in Petunia Pop. So I'll stamp that first, and I've got Friends Forever, and I've got them underneath each other. So I'm going to stamp that onto here. Like so. And then I'm going to glue those two pieces together. Now I've left a big space at the top because that's where I'm going to put my flowers. So let's pop that down and bring in some dimensionals. And as you know, I don't like things that sag, so one in the middle. I'm going to pop this onto the front of the card. Now it's up to you where you put it. I'm going to put it a little bit lower. Oh no, probably in the middle, I guess. If you wanted to put it down here, you could, and then decorate the top. That's fine. So now I'm going to put on some flowers. So I'm going to bring in my dimensionals again. I popped them away, didn't I? That was a bit silly. I'm going to pop one in on at a time, because I don't know how many I want to put on. So we pop one here. Oops, let's bring them down a tiny bit. One here. I'm going to put a blue one at the just here. So I put another blue one on the other side. Like so. So that's my flowers on there like that. I'm then going to bring in some glue and pop my leaves on. Oops. Get my glue on the leaves. And I might put these other two leaves I'm going to glue together. So just pop a bit of glue there and there. Whoops, get over there you silly things. And then glue them together at the back. To pop up through the middle there, just like so. Get at the back there. So as long as we don't go over the top, because we know we're at a 6 inch mark, we are fine. So I'm not going to put any more flowers on. I'll pop them away for another time. And that's good, because I love it when I've got things already cut out for another project. So I've got some, these were rainbow adhesive dots. And these are in the blue. And I'm going to use those blue ones because I think they will sit out not really nicely. So let's pop the pin in the glue there. Come on, get in the glue. That's it. I'll pop one just there, and a couple of smaller ones. One just there, and come on. One just there. So that's my card for today. This was inspired, as I said, by a lady that asked me if I would make one on my Facebook group. So I've actually done it now. And this is the called a Hexagon Pop Up Card. And this one has that lovely spring in the bottom that helps it to stand up. And you can see, when I've got it laid down, you can see that it pops up. So it does pop up into that nice shape. So this is my very first one that I did. And this was a hexagon die that I had. And I thought, oh, that would look really lovely on it. But I think I like the round one as well. So, but I do like the fact that I put the writing panel on the back instead of just leaving this piece here with a small place to write. It's nice to have somewhere to write, really lovely. So I've enjoyed making that, and that one I've got the same size on the back as this one. And I really have enjoyed making that, and thank you again once again for Sam for giving me the idea of putting that spring in there so that it does actually pop out. And if you've enjoyed this and you'd like the written tutorial, head down below here to Die Stand for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials for my Facebook group. There, it's free to join. Just answer the question and you'll be able to join the group. If you're watching this at a different date to when it goes live, just check the date and then you will actually see when it is in the file section. So it's because they all go live on the same date with the tutorial and the YouTube video. So if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you all. And if you'd love to join my team and you live in Australia, I'd love you to be part of my team. So I will see you all on Sunday. Bye for now.